Hello people of the internet, it's John here from Final Form Freak, doing an unboxing of the 3 new starter decks we have. Starter deck 12, 13 and 14. Now to speed up time a little bit, I have sort of unboxed them. Now one thing you may have noticed is the text here is normally the leader. Now in the viewing window it is the Unison cards, which are new to the game. So, hope everyone's well and staying safe during all this lockdown. We'll start with starter deck 12, Spirit of Potara. So, leader is Vegito. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. If it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue Unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you may flip this card over. If you do, draw 2 cards. So, nice awakening skill for early awakening, especially if you need to draw some, or if you want to hold out, awaken 4 or less life, you may draw 1 card and switch one of your energy to active mode. So, other side, SSB Vegito, Godhood Transcended. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, activate battle. Tap 2 blue, choose one of your blue Unison cards, and it gets 10k power and triple strike for the battle. Now that's pretty cool. Next auto, once per turn, if it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue Unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, switch up to one of your mono blue energy to active mode and draw 1 card. Very nice leader. I'll set that over here. Now onto the Unison cards. Now before I continue, I've just set that leader card down, and I just want to make people aware and see what everybody else is like. But can you see how much? Now, I'm not sure if it's just mine, but all 3, to say I've just opened them, I've already started to warp. So, just make sure guys, when you get, your decks and stuff, you kind of sleeve them straight away and keep them somewhere nice and flat. Anyways, back to the Unison cards. So, like we said, new card has its own area for it to be placed in. Really like this card. This is probably my favourite starter deck out of the 3 that we've got. So permanent, if your leader card is a blue Saiyan card and you have a blue Saiyan card in play in rest mode, your leader card don't take damage from attacks. So very handy card, very handy, which leads on to the next effect. So without losing a marker or gaining a marker, activate main, choose one of your leader cards or battle cards and switch it to rest mode and add a marker to this card. So it summons in for 2, and then you get to place a marker on the card if you switch one of your cards to rest mode. -2 markers, activate main, draw 1 card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of their owner's deck. So you get 2 of those. Love the artwork here. Up there. So onto the 3 foils you get from this deck. So first off, 1 drop, SSB Son Goku, Tenacious Warrior. Auto, add 1 card from your life to your hand when this card attacks, and it gains 11k power for the turn. So it becomes into a 15k card. Pretty nice. When this card is KO'd, look at up to the top 7 cards from the top of your deck Add up to 1 blue Unison card with a specified cost of 2 among them and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So basically the 1-drop searches out the Unison card that you just looked at. Next, 2-drop SSB Vegeta Heroic Warrior. If your leader card is a blue Saiyan card, this card gains crit. Also, when this card is KO'd, draw 1 card, then add up to 1 blue Unison card with a specified cost of 2 from your drop area to your hand. Nice. And next up we have SS Trunks Architect of Peace. If your leader card is a blue Saiyan card, when this card is used in a combo, choose up to 1 blue Saiyan with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand, negate its skills for the turn, and play it in rest mode. Nice way to get out of Vegeta. Oop. So, 1-drop, you get another one of those, and another Vegeta Heroic Warrior, and another. So, many of you will already know this card from set 1, Police Coercion. So, negate the attack and choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. 2 of them. Raging Spirit Son Gohan. Now again, this is set 2 at the end of the battle. After you combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is blue, play this card in rest mode. So tap 1, play for 10, and you get a nice full play set of those. Another set 2, my blocker permanent. If there's a Trunks feature in your battle area or leader area, you may play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. So get to play it for free. And full play set of them. Dimension Magic. Now here's one negate that near enough, I'd say 90% of the players will run in any blue deck, just because of its effect. So your leader card is blue, negate the attack, then choose up to 2 of your blue energy and switch them to active mode. Really good card, really good card. Also has Sparking 5, so if you don't have the energy, you can cut 1 life and use its effect, and you get a full playset. So Quick Shift Majin Buu. Also, when you combo with this card, if your leader card is blue, you may choose 2 cards from your hand, shuffle them into your deck. If you do, draw 2 cards. Pretty nice. For them. Slightly more recent card. You're Wide Open. Counterplay, if your leader card is blue, if the battle card your opponent is playing has an energy cost of 4 or less, it is returned to the owner's hand instead of being played. So it's the blue Denial of Hope. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Right here. Next up we have Krillin the Cunning. When you play this card, draw 1 card, then for the duration of the game, if the turn the player would use the skill of a battle card or extra card to switch energy to active mode, they can't switch energy to active mode unless they choose 5 cards from their drop and send them to the wall. So, very good card. Full play set. Son Gohan Accelerated Slam, Super Combo. When your life is at 4 or less, when you combo with this card, you get to draw a card. 4 of them. Now this is one of my favourite cards from this starter deck. So 1-drop, auto, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, it gains 10k power and double strike for the turn. Very nice. Lovely artwork on this one. So it's unique. If you have a blue Unison card in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. That's the permanent effect. The auto effect, if your leader card is blue Trunks future card, at the end of your opponent's turn, draw 1 card. Activate battle once per turn. Tap 2 blue. This card gains 10k power and triple strike for the battle. Got a 30k triple strike. And last but not least, my Bulwark of the Future. So auto, when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 blue unison card with a specified cost of 2 or 1 blue Trunks Future card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So that will help to search out either your unison card or the Trunks, depending on which way you want to play it. So that's start deck 12. So 13, Clan Collision. So we have Frieza here. Permanent, you can't include Saiyan cards in your deck, which probably would have been a bit overpowered, because you could have run it with Broly BR and really ramped all the way through. So auto, choose one Frieza's armor card in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop area. When this card attacks the leader card, your opponent chooses one card in the hand and discards it, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. And that's an interesting effect, very interesting. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, then switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. So on the Awaken side. Last Resort Frieza. Also, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, activate main, once per turn, choose 1 Frieza's armor card in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop. Choose 1 card in your opponent's hand, discard it, then choose up to 1 green unison card and it gains crit for the turn. Cool. Now, love the artwork on these unison cards. You can see the amount of shininess that's going on. May have something to do with the slight warp we're getting in them. So permanent effect, if this card would lose a marker from an opponent's attack, you may place 1 card from your life in your drop area instead. Okay, so activate main, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it and draw 1 card and it would gain a marker. Other, activate main, so it'd lose a marker, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and KO it, or choose up to 1 of their unison cards and remove a marker from it. Same again, you get two of them. Next foils, Ginyu, Frieza's greatest soldier. So auto, when this card is played, use up to 1 of your leader cards or green unison cards and it gets 10k power for the turn. If your leader card is a green Frieza card, when this card is placed in a drop area from a battle area by a skill, you may return this card to its owner's hand. Pretty nice. Keep recycling it. So Zarbon, Frieza's right hand man. Also, when this card is played, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 green unison card with a specified cost of 2, or 1 green Frieza's army card with an energy cost of 4 or less among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate battle, tap 1 green. If your leader card is a green Frieza card, you have a green unison card in play, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, choose 1 of your leader cards or unison cards and it gets 10k power for the battle. So they're really focusing on boosting up the fighting power of the unison cards so far. Dodoria, Frieza's devoted servant. If your leader card is a green Frieza card and you have a green unison card in play, if this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. It's a nice way of getting it out from free. So activate main, tap 1 green. If your leader card is a green Frieza card and you have a green unison card in play, add this card from your drop area to your hand. Nice. So that would be 2 Ginyus, 2 Zarbons, 2 Dodoria. So set 1 Frieza, Avenging Frieza. Also, when you play this card, look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck, Choose up to one Freezer's army card among them with an energy cost of 2 or less, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. 2, 3, 4. Cold Bloodlust. Now, one card that's definitely worth running. You'll only get one in a deck because it was rotted, but it's dead handy. It's got me out of a few tricky situations. So counterplay, if you lead a card's a freeze armor card, battle card played, has its skill negated for the duration of the turn. So very good card. Next up, Freezer's Call. So activate main, choose one freeze armor card of energy cost of 2 or less from your deck and play it in rest mode and shuffle your deck. Nice. Now, it wouldn't be a green deck, or green leader should I say, without Shocking Death Ball. One of the better green negates that you have in the game. To counter attack, if your leader card is green, negate the attack, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and KO it. Also sparking 5, so you need 5 or more cards in your drop area. Activate the card's counter skills from your hand by adding a card from your life instead of paying its energy cost. And you do get a full playset of Shocking Death Ball. So next up we have Yamcha the Cunning. So auto, when you play this card, draw one card, then for the duration of the game, for the turn the player would use the skill of a battle card or extra card to switch energy to active mode. If you can't switch energy to active mode unless they choose 5 cards from the drop area and send them to the wall. So similar to the, if not exactly the same, as the Krillin we just saw in the Spirit of Potara deck. Next up we have Frieza, Cosmic Horror. So this card has a dual attack. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, or choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. Full playset for that. So next up, Frieza, Terrifying Transformation. When this card is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill, draw 2 cards. That's nice. Activate main, tap 1 green, choose up to one green Freezer card with an energy cost of 4 in your hand or drop area and play it on top of this card in active mode. That's quite cool. So basically get that out, tap 1 green after you swing with it at the leader or unison card, and then you get to play 4 cost on top. Nice full playset there. Berta, fastest in the universe. That's an overrated statement if I've ever heard one. Proven very quickly that it wasn't. But in this case, he is unique. Blocker. At the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. Oh, that's handy. Then look at up to top 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them on the top and or bottom of your deck in any order. So very handy if you're trying to search something out, and also, you know, stopping the attacks going through. You can only get 2 in the deck. So it's Doria with Cold Blooded. So 1 drop, add 1 card from the left to your hand when this card attacks, gains 10k power and double strike for the turn, similar to the Vegeta. Zarbon the Gorgeous. So super combo, like any others, life 4 or less. You get to draw 1 card. Now Frieza, the Power Monger. So deflect, and it's unique. If your opponent has 3 or more energy when this card is removed from a battle area by a skill or KO, add up to 1 green extra card with an energy cost of 1 or less from your drop area to your hand. Very handy skill that is. That Frieza we saw earlier that lets you evolve into a 4-drop. This is probably the route I'd take. So then activate battle, 1 green and 2 generic. So this card gains 15k power and double strike for the battle. And the card, now you don't get a full play set of 4 for them, you only get 3. And that would be, I imagine that's because Cold Bloodlust is in the deck and you can only have 1. so can't win them all. And the final card, the one I was most excited about for the green deck, 1-star ball, Parasitic Darkness. So this card gains Dark Dragon Ball in all areas. Activate battle, choose one of your cards and it gets 5k power for the battle. Activate main, choose one freezer card with an energy cost of 4 in your battle area. Place this card under it. Play up to 1 green freezer Xeno card in your deck or hand on top of the chosen card in active mode, then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. So actually, I take back what I just said. So you'll be going from a 2 to a 4 and then back to another 4. Very handy, and full play set there. Yes, just sort them out. And the last deck, starter deck 14, which I thought was rather cool. We've got Vegeta Xeno and Trunks Xeno. So you can only play mono black battle cards, and means you can run other cards in the deck if you want to, but all your battle cards are going to be black. Activate main once per turn, burst 5, and then draw 1 card. Awaken when your life is at 4 or less, or you have 20 or more cards in your drop area. You may draw 1 card, switch up to 1 energy to active mode. Add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 cards in your life and then flip this over. So you've got to cut at most 2 cards from your life before you can awaken this. And again, beautiful artwork. So permanent, Sparking 20. This skill takes effect when you have 20 or more cards in your drop area. If you would lose the game by running out of cards in your deck, shuffle your drop area into your deck instead. So if you're not running Overrealm, such as Fu, this would be a pretty good deck to go against Milnimber, because they can't make you draw out and drop into your drop area. So you just keep recycling your cards really. Activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, place 5 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area, then choose up to 1 of your black unison cards and it gains Dual Strike. Lovely. So onto the unison card, SS Gotenks Fusion of Friendship. If you lead a card as a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill and you don't have a Unison card in play, you may play this card from your drop area with a marker on it. So, next effect is +2 markers. Activate main, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. This card gains 10k power for the duration of the turn. Yep, and then -4 markers, activate main, this card gains 20k power and dual attack. Works really well with the leader there, so once it's got 4 markers, you could swing with it with leader's effect and it'd be 25k dual attack, double strike, so 2 in the deck. Next up we have Time Agent Cheetah. So again, unique, permanent. This card would be, if this card would be removed from your battle area, it's sent to the owner's warp area instead. Auto effect, if you lead a card as Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. So leader's effect goes into the drop, comes out for free. That's pretty sweet. Activate battle once per turn. It is a bit hard to see, but it is. There we go. 2 cost. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an cost of 3 or less and send it to its owner's warp. Time Agent Trunks. So another unique. This one is a blocker. Auto effect, when this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. And next auto effect, if you lead a card as a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. So again, you can get it out for free. Supreme Kai of Time. Guardian of Space-Time. Also, if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, when this card is used in a combo, this card gets 5,000 combo power for the battle, so it becomes a 10k combo. Also, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. So it's all about dropping into your drop area through burst, and then you effectively get to play them for free. So another Time Agent Vegeta, another Time Agent Trunks, another Supreme Kai of Time, Guardian of Space-Time. So with the Leader's effect, you can only play mono black cards, but as you can see with this starter deck, we have a red card. Lots of people run it purely for the effect. Tap 1, and when you combo with this card, choose one of your attacking cards, it gains double strike for the duration of the battle. Very handy card. It's helped me win a few games, you know, when it's down to the last 2 life. I know the attack's going through, give it double strike, and that's it. You're in for the win. So, counter attack, Time's Judgment. Negate the attack, then you replace 2 cards from your hand in the drop area. If you do so, add this card to your hand. And 2 of those. So, Time Control Corona. Corona? Somebody will correct me in the comment section about the pronunciation of that card. I'm sure they will. Also, when you play this card, draw 1 card, and your opponent may not play battle cards from their hand with the skills of the card with super combo for the duration of the game. Well, that's interesting. So, especially with the most recent sets of super combos that we've had out in the effects, such as Nappa that comes into play, or the Zamasu one where you get to tap an opponent's card, it stops them. It also stops the draw power. That's quite nice. So 3 drop, Time Trauma, Mass Saiyan. Also, when you play this card, if your leader card is black, you may choose up to 2 cards from your life and add them to your hand. If you choose to add 1 or more cards to your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less and send it to the wall. So you could potentially get 2 off that. The set 5, Dark Power, Black Mass Saiyan. Also, when you attack with this card, you may add 1 card from your life to your hand. If you do, this card gets 10k power for the duration of the turn. Also, when your opponent plays a battle card with 15k power or less using a non-keyword skill, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and places them in their drop area. You get a full play set of them. Power Burst. Really handy card for any black deck. So counter attack if leader card is black, negate the attack, then choose up to 1 battle card from your drop area or wall with an energy cost of 1, add it to your hand. Sparking 5, same as Dimension Magic and same as Shocking Death Ball. So 5 or more cards in your drop, you can take 1 life and use it to negate an attack. That payment sends you can't get full play set as well. So 1 drop, Son Goku making an entrance. So counter attack, negate the attack and play this card. Pretty nice. No combo power though. It is you know, Son Goku. Full play set around. Vegeta making an entrance. Counter. Choose 3 battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or more. And the power of 35,000 or less in your drop area and place them at the bottom of your deck in any order. Play this card. So black deck's mainly about recycling from your drop back into your deck or hand. Permanently, this card can only be played from any area using the counter skill, and only 1 Vegeta making an entrance can be played in your battle area. Rather broken if you could have more than 1 and keep recycling it. So we've got a vanilla Super Saiyan Trunks. That's nice. And we've got Bibbidi, Primeval Conjurer. So slightly different this super combo. So it's only 3k combo power, but the auto, if all of your energy is black when you combo with this card gains 1000 combo power for the duration of the turn for each card in your drop area and wall. So that's a very good super combo. So really worthwhile keeping an eye on how many cards are in your drop and wall. Oh, that's nice, very nice. And then finally, we have Time Bullet. So new card. So counterplay, if you have a Unison card in play, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less, it is sent to the owner's wall bearing instead of being played. Permanent effect, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost by choosing 2 other cards in your hand and discarding them. Nice, and that's a full play set there. So those are the 3 starter decks. For anybody that's new to the game, I would recommend getting these just because there's a mix of cards, new and old, the negates and some of the extra cards, such as 1-Star Ball, Parasitic Darkness. It will be worthwhile adding, plus the Unison cards, great effects. But I'm going to end it there. I hope everyone's staying safe during this global pandemic. I'd like to wish you all the best, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and remember, once a freak, always a freak. See you next time.